my mind went to all of the things initially of why are we doing this and what are the ramifications? And I needed to
Right.
recalibrate and say, not that those aren't important, but again, we're here to talk about the legal basis of it. Is this illegal under United States law? Is this something that can be done? Is it sanctionable? Is it something that is, when you look at statutes and case law, do they have grounds on which to do this? And once you take a step back, as Lou and I have done
Right.
separately, I came around to you know what? And it surprised the living out of me, but I really think that there is more than a toehold of basis to do this. I think that there's certainly gray areas here. And if I
Right.
was a criminal defense lawyer for Mr. Maduro, there might be some things I want to attack. But generally speaking, from what I've seen, it seems like that there is a legal basis. But Lou, what did you find?
Yeah, no, and I agree 100% where this is something where when I first heard it, I was like, and let's start out by saying again, this is we're going to try and keep it solely legal, constitutional basis. The political basis, I could go off on that and we could both discuss that. You know, politically, legally, I thought it was tenuous at best. Politically, I was like, yes, solid political basis. There's as the leader of the free of the country, and as and looking at it as for national security aspects and everything, things like that. I was like, solid Article 2 authority. Period. End of story for me. And I've sort of taken a look at it, and now it's less tenuous than people really think. I mean, putting aside whether or not you agree that we should have, it's can we? That's it. Is there a solid authority?
Right. And unlike Lou, and I was laughing just a few seconds ago because my initial reaction, he was like, you know, national security and all the other stuff. This is great. We did this. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. How does this spin out into other ways? But even though I'm going this way and Lou's going this way, we both came just to
Right.
okay, for the legal basis, we both came and we just compared notes before we hit the record button. And we both like, oh, you found this? Oh, yeah, you found this? Oh, yeah, I found it. And so we're going to tell you what we found.
Right. So why don't you start out with it, Rob?
What's that?
Why don't you start out with it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, couldn't
No.
hear.
Okay.
So when we were talking about the narco boats, a lot of the things that you will remember when you saw it, and if you haven't seen it, go back into our archives.
Special episode number 1.
And remember, as we always talk about, this is the Republic, if you can keep it, podcast.
Right.
And we need your assistance. Like, subscribe, share.
All that.
With that out of the way, we were talking about in our first special episode, all of these interdictions that were happening in the Caribbean were not on foreign soil. They were taking out boats in a defensive action, which it appeared that was a solid constitutional basis for the president under Article 2 to defend the Constitution, defend the country. These boats posed a direct and imminent danger to the health and welfare of Americans coast to coast. There were no flags on these vessels. They were clearly, from what we were able to understand, clearly carrying narcotics with the intent to distribute in the United States. And based upon what we found in our research, that seemed to be constitutionally and legally founded. Now, we've now gone inland. We've now gone onto Venezuelan soil.
Right.
We've now apprehended the president of a country, and we'll get into the debates of whether he was duly elected,
Legitimate
if
or
he
not.
skewed
Right.
whatever, but he was the president of the country, and they take him out and bring him to the United States. On its face, like you said, when we woke up, we're just like, oh my goodness. And part of it is that this doesn't happen very often.
Last time was about 40 some years ago.
Yeah. And then you start doing some digging. and we start thinking about, okay, let's talk about, first and foremost, as we always do, we talk about the Constitution. And you have your Article 1 powers, which we've talked about in our prior episodes here. We have Article 2 coming up,